spent the next year trying to stabilize or helping them stabilize it so they could commercialize this product. I just wanted to go over quickly what redox signaling molecules are and what they do in the body, what redox signaling is. And so if I can, if it's all right with you, give a quick presentation on that. Let me share my screen with you. Hopefully you can see this. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, great, very good. Okay, well, it starts with an oxygen atom. If you were able to look at, as an atomic physicist, at a very small atom, you'd see the quantum structure of the atom. It has electrons around with unpaired electrons called free radicals around the nucleus. The interesting thing about oxygen is that it can be oxidized. You can change the structure of oxygen by adding electrons. If you, or you reduce it actually by adding electrons. If you add one electron, you get a superoxide ion. And you add 2 electrons, you get a peroxide ion. And if you add some more, you get hydroxyl ions and radicals, etc. And these are different states of oxygen. And different states of oxygen form a species called reactive oxygen species. And those are the those are the species that are inside this saltwater solution that are produced. The last or most reduced form of oxygen is in water, and we're fairly familiar with the importance that water has in biology. So let me kind of go through this. All of the diverse and complex structures of life are caused because our tissues are interconnected. They can communicate. And the tissues are interconnected because the cells are interconnected, and the signaling of the cells is enacted by these little molecules. Beautiful little orchestration of molecules inside of our cells, which also carry signals. And all of the complex molecules and all of the fields exist in a bath of salt water. And they're interconnected by the water molecules and the different states of oxidation of the water. So reduction, oxidation, redox has to do with oxidation and reduction of the water molecule, or of the oxygen molecules that are in the water. Inside a working cell, all biochemistry takes place in water. All the little molecular machines that are inside of our cells also interact through the medium of water. And redox signaling then mediates all of the communications and coordinates all of the activities of these molecules inside living organisms. So you can imagine they're very universal, and they're functional inside all forms of life. Inside a human cell, we have mitochondria. Mitochondria utilize about 90% of the oxygen in our body and convert it into different types of things, into cell fuel, superoxides, hydrogen peroxides, and hypochlorites. And these are the exact type of reactive oxygen species that I was talking about. So now, being able to reduce and oxidize oxygen inside the cells is very important for our biology. And since some forms of these oxidants can be harmful, we have antioxidants. One of the master antioxidants in our body is created inside the cell itself also. It's called glutathione. And as these oxidants are created by the mitochondria, then they also can encounter these antioxidants, and they are then eliminated. So inside of living cells, you have a constant production of these reactive oxygen species. You also have elimination of the active oxygen species by antioxidants inside the cell, which prevent these oxidants from harming any of the structures of the cell. I like to think of this like a fireplace. The mitochondria burn the fuels. They create these oxidants like the smoke that the fire creates. You cannot avoid creating smoke or oxidants, and free radicals when you do so. But the smoke is well controlled. The oxidation is controlled inside the cell. And it forms what they call a homeostatic balance, which means the oxidants and the reductants and the antioxidants are all balanced inside the cell, inside a normal, healthy working cell. When the cell is damaged for whatever purpose, bacteria or a cut or inflammation or toxin, whatever the case, it turns out that this balance is disturbed and you get more oxidation in the cells. This is called oxidative stress. It is the key to inflammation, because when the cell will become inflamed, it will also be damaged by the oxidation. That's like a fireplace that doesn't work, and the smoke is billowing out and getting inside your house. Really important to understand, though, that as this process takes place, because of the damage, the cell stops doing its normal activity and starts trying to repair itself. So the genes that repair the cell are activated by these reactive oxygen species. And the reactive oxygen species then are the signaling members that tell the cell that something's wrong. The cell then tries to repair itself. If it cannot repair itself, it will kill itself. That is very important, because if the damaged cell were allowed to survive, you would be able to have a damaged cell that possibly could divide into 2 damaged cells, or 4, 8, 16, and that damage then would, of course, spread throughout your body. And so the body has the ability to detect, repair, or kill the cells, and they're then replaced by normal, healthy cells. So this is the redox signaling process that happens millions of times every second inside our body. The cells are detected. If they're damaged, they're repaired. And if they can't be repaired, of course, they kill themselves and are replaced by normal, healthy cells through cellular division. This is pretty important stuff. A lot of very high scientific people are now studying redox signaling. James Watson, for example, who discovered the structure of DNA, or helped to discover it, says that in chemistry, oxidation and reduction reactions in the body cells cannot survive without making both oxidants and antioxidants. There is a delicate balance between the two. Then physical exercise prompts the body to make large number of oxidants, molecules called reactive. He's now devoting billions of dollars of research to see how exercise can create reactive oxygen species in the body to accelerate healing. And we've learned how to do that outside the body now, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. Several other very notable people have devoted their careers to cell signaling mechanisms that involve reactive oxygen species. And here are a few. Nitric oxide, by the way, is one of the what they call nitrogen species, active nitrogen species, that's in the redox signaling. Okay, so there's journals also and books being written on antioxidant and redox signaling, conferences held worldwide. So we're starting to see the field of redox signaling that grow, and as we do, the knowledge that we have and that we can act upon becomes broader and broader throughout the world. So now coming back down to earth a little bit, the antioxidant myth is that antioxidants are found in foods and they're good, and the oxidants are bad. They're evil. And so the free radicals that are inside of our body then are thought to be terrible, and they have to be eliminated by these antioxidants. Actually, this is not true. In the body, the antioxidants and oxidants are the best of friends. Both the oxidants and antioxidants have to exist in a beautiful balance inside of our body. And they mediate several of the pathways that are in our body. I wanted to show you a few of these things. They help to, for example, extend the life of little worms called C. elegans. And that was some of the original research. They also are very active in the regeneration of tissue. This is a tadpole that has its tail cut off, and of course it regenerates. The red and yellow in this is high levels of reactive oxygen species, and you can see as the tail regenerates after a time that the highest area of oxidation is in the area of regeneration of the tail. In fact, what they did is they took the oxidants away by using antioxidants in the regeneration of the tail, and the tail did not regenerate. So the oxidants have a very important role in the regeneration of healthy tissue inside of this, inside our biology. Now we were able to stabilize these mitochondrial reactive oxygen species outside the body and put it in a bottle in stable form. That was part of my work. And now we can administer this, in a liquid to any part of the body, and it accelerates healing. It reduces oxidation. It reduces oxidative stress and inflammation anywhere that it happens to be in the body. Here, I'll show you a little picture of that. We take the same process that produces this inside of cells and then use that to produce it inside of a liquid. And that we called ASEA. They called it ASEA. I no longer work for ASEA. I work for myself. I work for a biogenesis firm. And I'm active now in developing many other types of emerging technologies in nanotechnology. We have nanoparticles that can kill the malaria parasite, nanoparticles that can disable viruses, and do other such things. And I'm very encouraged that we've been able to commercialize ASEA in such a way, because that gives me hope that we can actually commercialize maybe other promising technologies in the same way. So anyway, we have proven that this stabilized ROS is safe for every single tissue that it touches. The most sensitive tissues of your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth. We have years of studies. The lung tissue, even, you can breathe this stuff into your lungs. You can take it in. It can be used internally, externally, in any part of the body, and it's absolutely, completely biocompatible. It's also bioactive. It increases the efficiency of antioxidants by 400% in the cells. And that's a glutathione and superoxide dismutase, for those of you that know about this. It releases NRF2, which activates antioxidants and defense for the cells. In our preclinical trials, it killed 100% of all of the microbes that were tested in under 30 seconds. And it has showed no effect on the beneficial microbiome of the gut. So it doesn't hurt the beneficial microbiome of the bacteria in the gut, but it does kill everything that it touches other than that. And we're not sure exactly the mechanism, but those are the results. Cell cultures then were given large amounts of these redox signaling molecules, the balanced redox signaling molecules. No inflammation was seen. Antioxidant efficacy increased dramatically. Only damaged cells were killed. The damaged cells just tended to die faster. The normal healthy cells were not affected whatsoever. It increases the sensitivity to hormones and cell signaling, and it also reverses cell aging, which is something very interesting. Cells stay alive and active and normal much longer when they have a SIA, or these molecules in them. And I believe that that's because of this NRF2 activation. It opens these and it opens the detoxification channels in the gut. It also stimulates antioxidants throughout the body, activates stem cell adhesion and differentiation for those who are interested in stem cells. For damaged cells, only in damaged tissues does it seem to work. And it's key to regenerating healthy tissue. So we have something that's absolutely non-toxic, absolutely biocompatible, and you can put it anywhere in the body. It increases the defense mechanisms, and it helps kill the damaged cells or repair and replace them. And so it's a very potent technology in my book. We have over 10 independent clinical studies. In animals, it increases energy utilization by 29%. Human metabolism undergoes shifts in the metabolites that last more than 24 hours when they drink this. I'm going to go through this very quickly. It increases the available energy reserves in cells, especially after exercise. It increased antioxidant efficiencies, and there's absolutely zero effects. And now we have it distributed in more than, what is about 200,000 people are taking this, and we see positive benefits reported for large numbers of people. On the skin, they've made a gel that goes on the skin. It's the same stuff, but it's put in gel form so that it can absorb more efficiently in the skin. It reduces the wrinkles, it reduces blotches, it increases the smoothness, and increases elasticity. Now, this was a kind of a surprise for me. It increases hydration too. But it has no proteins, or it has no molecules in there that do that. What it does is it helps stimulate the skin cells to repair themselves. So the damaged skin repairs itself more readily. And so that for the women and for men too that have damaged skin, you can see immediate effects in less than a month on the application of these substances. It also increases the blood flow in the skin. It decreases the size of cellulite, the fat globules, and then it increases also the rate of cellular regeneration throughout the whole body, especially in the skin. Instead of 28 days regeneration, the skin regenerates in 16 days, according to the studies that were run. I'm going through this very quickly. I apologize because we just don't have time to do very much. I wanted you to see this all. Almost all of the research that was done early on, 16 years, was done with the endothelial cells inside of veins and arteries. And these endothelial cells reacted very positively to the redox signaling as far as repair and replacement, especially in the heart. In the heart, there's more than 4,000 mitochondria in every heart cell that are producing these naturally. And the heart has to repair itself on the fly. It can't rest. So it needs these molecules. The endocrine system also is very active with the redox signaling. It's interactive also with it. And the RU-28 on the skin, we mentioned that. Lung research, we have 5 years of lung research, absolutely incredible results in regeneration of lung tissue when exposed to these molecules. Intestinal linings also are helped to be replaced. We haven't done much research except to show that it's safe for the GI system. And then in nervous research, the nervous system, we find that also helps to quiet oxidative stress in some of the emotional centers, makes people feel a little better, and they are able to sleep better at night and such. And so that those are some of the effects that we have. People that have addictions also and drink alcohol are notice very much that when they take these signaling molecules, that they have better cognitive function and less headaches. So that's about it.